Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Carrie's Musings on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch on any of the three. Let me get the comments back up here. I have a link up here if you want to join me. Come in and join me. And I want to show something here. It don't look like I can do it. It don't look like I can do it. Let me see. More. Those comments. On the phone, I can't show my background. Well, if somebody comes on, maybe they can tell me. I had to think about algorithms, but apparently I can't show the video. Well, maybe I can play it on my. Maybe I can play it on my laptop so you can hear it. But when somebody jumps on, we'll get started. We'll get started with it and show it, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about tonight. This is talk about anything. I'm gonna take a drink while I'm waiting. Hopefully, other people will join us. I didn't check to see if I was on. Okay, if you're here, let me know. And we can talk. Let it talk to anybody. Talk about whatever. And I have a bad habit of stroking my beard, so if you see me, holler at me. You don't stroke that beard, dude. I don't know why I do that, but I'm having a problem figuring out how to get the camera where it will show the right side. It's not showing the right. It's not showing the right way for some reason. Well, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sorry about that. My tablet's way behind, so. Let me pull this up. And I will play some of this video. No audio, it's audio. Sorry about that. Audio. I'm all right. Take time to warm up here. No, why don't I have? Oh, here it is. And let me turn it back up. Pause me here. Okay, hope you can hear this.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Global X ETFs. We created Charting Disruption as an interactive guide to the trends, technologies, and bold ideas transforming the economy. Explore our insights, interviews, charts, and more at chartingdisruption.com.
Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, the Wyckoffs are great people. I love the Wyckoffs.
Is so often wrapped up in conversations about the potential of artificial intelligence and advanced computers that it can seem almost magical. especially when we're told the answer to just about any
Let me
problem,
know if you
no
can
matter
hear
how
this.
complicated, is an algorithm. They point people towards new music.
Whoop. What'd I do? I clicked off of it. Sorry about that.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Global X ETFs. We created
In just about every aspect of our digital lives. But psychologist and behavioral scientist Gerd Gigerenzer thinks they're way overhyped.
So a deep neural network has many, many layers, but they're still calculating machines.
Gigerenzer is the director of the Harding
Calculating
Institute for
machines.
Risk Literacy at the University of Potsdam, and he previously ran the Center for Adaptive Behavior and Cognition at the Max Planck Institute for Human Development. His research over decades has helped shape our understanding of how people make choices and find patterns when faced with uncertainty. And Gigerenzer argues that our intuitive abilities are surprisingly good. Even more so, he says, than the computer algorithms that are increasingly tasked with making choices for us. In his latest book, How to Stay Smart in a Smart World, Gigerenzer looks at the algorithms behind everything from self-driving cars to social media, and how their choices are shaping our future.
They can paint, they can construct text, but that doesn't mean that they understand text in the sense humans do.
They
From the
can't
Wall Street Journal,
understand
this
what
is
they're
the future
doing.
of everything. I'm Danny Lewis. Today, we're bringing you my conversation with Gerd Gigerenzer on the future of algorithms, how they are shaping our world, and the ways they could change our cities, our relationships, and even our own behavior. That's after the break.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Global X ETFs. The technology landscape is changing before our eyes. Is your portfolio keeping up? Visit chartingdisruption.com to explore our interactive guide to the trends, technologies, and bold ideas shaping markets.
Gerd Gigerenzer, welcome to the future of everything.
Thank you for inviting me.
The term algorithm is thrown around just so much and in so many different contexts these days. What are we talking about when we talk about algorithms?
So it's a huge thing, and therefore it's important to distinguish what we are talking about. And for instance, one of the insights in my research at the Max Planck Institute is that if you have a situation which is stable and well-defined, then complex algorithms such as deep neural networks are certainly better than human performance. So examples are chess, Go, Jeopardy, which are stable. But if you have a problem that's not stable, for instance, you want to predict a virus, like a coronavirus, or just a flu, then keep your hands off complex algorithms. The uncertainty, that's more how the human mind works, to identify the one or two important cues and ignore the rest. So that's a point that you're just making, depending on the type of problem, whether it's stable, well-defined, or unstable and not well-defined. In that type of problems, ill-defined, like cancer, complex algorithms don't work well. And that has been shown again and again and again. I call this the stable world principle. Helps you as a first clue about what AI can do. It also tells you that in order to get most out of AI, we have to make the world more predictable, including humans need to become more predictable.
It's very interesting right here.
If you want the optimal output of AI, then we all need to change.
In what ways do you mean? If we need to become more predictable, what would that mean for our daily lives?
Okay, think about self-driving cars. A self-driving car is a so-called level 5 car where no human needs to pay attention and which can drive you safely under all traffic conditions. So level 1 is just one system like distance control. Level 2 integrates many systems, for instance, for automatic parking. That's where we are. Level 3 would be a system that can do everything, but still a human needs to pay attention second by second. And level 4 is now the point where we're getting towards the principle we need to adapt for. A level 4 car is a car that can drive by itself without human attention, but only in restricted and well-prepared environments. That means only on certain highways or
we have to be out of the way.
Cities or parts of cities. And that means that our environments need to be redesigned. So, for instance, that no human drivers are on the road, no bicycles, no pedestrians, and then these cars will drive safely because the environment has changed. In these cities of the future, humans will no longer be allowed to drive.
Interesting. That doesn't seem so smart to me. So why is it that these artificial intelligences can't deal with things they can't predict?
Let's talk about deep artificial and neural networks, which are the state of the art and also used in cars. It's basically a statistical machine that can find regularities, correlations, but it is not like human intelligence. Human intelligence doesn't work by analyzing that type of correlations. Human thinking is causal. We have theories, we have intuitions, we have common sense. A deep neural network has neither of that. How should it have that? It's based on the data that it can analyze. So for instance, AlphaGo and AlphaZero, that are brilliant systems, but AlphaGo doesn't even know it's playing a game. It also doesn't know there's a human on the other side. It's a statistical machine. And we need to distinguish that and not fall prey to some of the movies that we have seen.
So then, is it really that after all these decades and decades of computer science, are these really basically just still calculators kind of running more and more complex equations at the end of the day?
What else would there be? A deep neural network has many, many layers, but they're still calculating machines. And they can do much more things than ever before. With the help of video technology, they can paint, they can construct text, but that doesn't mean that they understand text in the sense humans do.
So in your book, you write that similar level of ability does not mean a similar kind of intelligence. What do you mean by that?
If a natural language model can produce sensible text, it doesn't mean that it understands anything about that. And you can see that by, for instance, asking systems such as GPT-3 questions which make no sense. And still the machine tries to find the best answer to that and doesn't understand that the question makes no sense. For instance, Douglas Hofstadter has done a number of experiments and asked GPT-3, when was Egypt transported across the Golden Gate Bridge? Makes no sense. A human understands that, but GPT finds the closest associations in the text that it has and produces a number, such as on October 1st of 2014. And in general, we should not think that statistical machines are the same as human intelligence. Both can do very different things.
So why does it matter then if AI programs don't understand things in the same way that we do?
Think about an automized car. The car will be in a situation that it had never encountered before, and that requires understanding and not reproduction. Or if you produce a weapon system that shoots better, targets better than humans, but doesn't understand what it is doing, there may be surprises. For instance, in studies where deep neural networks have been taught pictures of school buses, which you need to know if you are part of an automatic car, and then little changes in these pictures mislead the neural network, and this is where it matters. The errors a machine intelligence makes are totally different from the errors humans make. And this is why researchers are always surprised that a system that can recognize pictures, for instance, almost perfectly, and suddenly something totally unexpected happens. Where you just ask yourself, how can it get this wrong? And the reason is because it is working by correlations and not by what we call common sense, intelligence, and intuition.
Coming up, computer algorithms are being tasked with solving more and more complex questions. But do we really know how they're making those decisions? The case for more transparency in the algorithms ruling our lives. Stay with us.
When this gets done in just a few minutes, we can discuss it and talk a little
Today's
bit
podcast
further
is brought
about
to you by
what they're
Global X
talking about.
ETFs. The future of technology is about more than pixels on a screen.
They'll
It's
get into
reshaping
social media a
transportation
little bit
networks,
more
energy
towards
systems,
the end.
and healthcare delivery. Visit chartingdisruption.com to explore our interactive outlook.
It doesn't last that long. It's probably about 3/4 now.
So when it comes to knowing how these algorithms work, then how does that benefit the people affected by it? Just being able to understand how these algorithms are making these decisions, how does transparency help people?
Transparency is immensely important, and I believe it should be a human right. I've worked with the German government, and we have recommended that all sensitive algorithms should be made transparent. If it's transparent, you can actually modify that and start thinking yourself again rather than relying on an algorithm that isn't better than a bunch of badly paid workers. So we need to understand the situation where human judgment is needed, and it's actually better. And also, we need to pay attention that we are not running into a situation where tech companies sell black box algorithms that determine parts of our lives. And if you look at China with the social credit system, you see what is in it. But it's about everything, including your social and your political behavior. And then people lose control to governments and to tech companies.
So spinning off of that, you write that digital technology can easily tilt the scales toward autocratic systems. Why do you say that? And how is this different from past information technologies? I can imagine this might be along the same lines as critics of early radio or even the printing press might have said when those innovations were new.
This kind of danger is a real one. Among all the benefits it has, one of the vices is the propensity for surveillance by governments and tech companies. And the latter we already have. If you have a smart TV, then you don't conduct personal conversations in front of the smart TV, but people don't read privacy policies anymore, so they don't know. And also, the privacy policies are set up in a way that you can't really read them. They're too long and complicated. And one study showed that if everyone would read the privacy policies that they just click away, that would take 30 days every year.
Wow.
So we are in a situation where the only choice is to blindly accept everything or to spend 30 days a year. And this is a choice where human dignity is thrown out of the window. We need to get control back. We need to get dignity back and not go sleepwalking into a world of surveillance.
So then how should we be smart about something like this then?
So let me give you an example. Think about a coffee house in your hometown which serves free coffee. Everyone goes there because it's free. And all the other coffee houses get bankrupt. So you have no choice anymore, but at least you get your free coffee, enjoy your conversations with your friends. But in the tables are microphones, and on the walls are video cameras that record everything you say, every word, and to whom, and send it off to analyze it. And the coffee house is full with salespeople who interrupt you all the time in order to offer you personalized products. That's roughly the situations you are in when you are on Facebook, Instagram, or other platforms. And in this coffee house, you are not the customer. You are the product. More precisely, your attention and your time. And this analogy shows you one of the solutions of a number of big problems would be. So we want to have a coffee house where we can pay ourselves, where we are allowed again to pay ourselves so that we are the customers, so we could get back the original idea of the internet, which was one thought as the freedom of information, a paradise where people now can get the fruits from the tree of truthful information.
We should note, we reached out to Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. It declined to comment. So paradise is a really strong word.
What's
But
up,
we've
Dave?
seen over the last 20, 25 years, this whole infrastructure around personalized ads and surveillance capitalism, as you call it, kind of be baked into the infrastructure of the internet. And it seems like it would take some pretty serious interventions to make that go away. If you're being realistic, where do you think we're going to be headed in, the next decade or so with our relationship between technology and artificial intelligence and surveillance?
That's a big question. In general, I have more hope that people realize that it's not a good idea to give your data and your responsibility for your own decisions to tech companies who use it to make money from advertisers. That can't be our future. We pay everywhere else with our money. And that's why we are the customers and have the control. And also there is a true danger that more and more people are sleepwalking into surveillance and just accept everything that's more convenient.
But it sounds so hard when everything is so convenient all the time. But to read these privacy policies and to do research on all these algorithms that are affecting my life, how do I push back against that?
I mean, the most convenient thing is not to think. And the alternative is start thinking. There's a number of technologies, and most important is a mechanism that psychologists call intermittent reinforcement. It is that you get a reinforcement like a like or a positive comment, but you never know when you will get it. So it's like a postal system where there are many postmen around, everyone carries one letter and can turn up whenever. You would always watch. And in the same way, people keep going back to the platform, keep checking whether there are likes. And that has really changed the mentality and made people dependent. I think it's very important for everyone to understand these mechanisms and how one gets dependent. So you can get the control back if you want.
Gerd Gigerenzer, thanks for joining us.
It was a pleasure.
The Future of Everything is a production of the Wall Street Journal. Steph.
Okay, everybody, what do you think about that? Turn this back down in case I accidentally turn it on. Okay, somebody come in, jump in, help out. Quite a story about algorithms. A free coffee shop where they do nothing but spy on you. That's what the internet is. They can shut you down. They can turn you off whenever they please. However they please. And the like system, he was right on key. It sure is crazy, and it's true, and we're all slaves to it. Each and every one of us. Going back and forth looking for the likes. Every one of us doing the same thing. And the deal about the automated cars, we had to change the scenery. We had to change it where there's no pedestrians, no traffic. The only ones that can drive is the automatic cars on a certain road on their terms, not ours. So we had to stay out of the way. Are we ready for that? And like he says, no, we're not ready for it. Yes, it's all about control. All about control. Anybody click on that link up there. Get on here and help me. We're supposed to be talking about everything tonight. And where's everybody? Maybe they'll come in at 8 o'clock because I said 8 o'clock online on your show, Aruba. So what time is it? 7:55. So hopefully more will straggle in. But I heard that today, and I have to pass that on. It is very informative. By an expert, knows what's going on. Machines have no conscience. That's why they cut us off. That's why they delete our post. They read a certain word and they go blink and delete it. They don't need a human hand. They have the AI there to do it for them. The algorithm. You say a certain word, they could do several. It could do several things, whatever the programmer put on it. It's just like the moderators blocking somebody out. I guess Nightbot's the same way. It hears a certain word and that person's gone. And that's the way the algorithms work. Shuts us up and stops us right in our tracks. And somehow or another, we have to get control or find another method of communication. One of the three. Or four. Or whatever. We got to do something because social media is taking us under. Big tech is ruling us. They're running our lives, running our thoughts. Misinformation. Everything true is a misinformation. And they're stopping us. They're trying to put an end to us. Yeah, they say algorithms, but it is algorithms. We are being run by algorithms. There are people in their offices, thousands of them around the country, that are doing this. They can flip a switch and make it miserable for us watching a video, watching the channel, watching the live. They could shut off the cell signal. They could do whatever they want. And believe me, we've got them. Huge offices full of people just doing that thing, listening and cutting. It could happen to any of us. It's not just algorithm. It's everything. It's one big conglomeration of things, numerous things that they're doing, numerous things. Oh well, let's start into something good here. Let me see if I can't share my screen here. Oh man. On the phone you can't show your screenshots. I can on my tablet, but not, and the tablet is not good as far as the picture is concerned. Broadcasting camera, nope. I know it was on there. Let me turn it sideways for a second. Excuse me, just a second. No, it has nowhere on here to put the screen. Wonderful. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna make you dizzy. Ooh, what happened here? Wait a minute. Try this. Nope, that don't work either. Okay, let me get back up here. Okay, let's do it this way. Did anybody see the train run over see the underneath of the train as it went by? Click the right one here. There we go. Oh, what do you do with it? I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Hang on just a second. Oop. Okay, I'll hold it up here. Hopefully you can see it. Ah, the ring gets in the way. This is on Ride Along Gang show. Have you ever seen the underneath of a train? I haven't until now. Oops. But it shows it better. The long train. Okay, you can see the rest of it. Just go to Ride Along Gang and give them a like on it, because that is fantastic. He's in the train, so I would have never thought of something like that. I would have never in a million years thought about videoing the underside of a train. Never, ever. So anybody got anything you want to discuss or talk about? I got this thing upside down. Get up here right. Anybody, give me an idea what we're going to talk about. So you didn't go out to eat tonight, Aruba? Getting ready for tomorrow? I'll be there. I'll be there. I have to find a place to park somewhere and carry my stuff, and I don't know. Yeah, big day. I'm gonna try to interview some of the pro-abortionists sneakingly. Do a Will Johnson type thing. I'm gonna try that, and then go back to the other side. Well, I would get in big trouble. I don't know, but who knows? Who knows what'll happen? But I wonder how many will bring their children out there and ask them, why did they have children? It could turn nasty. They tend to get nasty. People tend to get nasty. But I've seen a lot of other live streamers. They bring the name of Jesus up and they run. So we might have to play that card. You never know. Wow, it's a crazy bunch. So Matt T, you still with me? I have two people here. Where is everybody? I figured some of our regulars would be here. Time is 8:06. Well, maybe they're on island time. Anybody knows what island time is? But I've said on my other broadcasts that the federal government should stay out of it. The states have the right to pass the laws on abortion, and I think that they should have the laws, because I remember the days of the butchers, because I worked in a hospital when I first got out of high school, and the dietary department was right across from the emergency room, and I saw girls come in bleeding to death all the time, and some did die. And the butchers would just tear them up, and self-inflicted abortion was rampant then too. So it was a sad time before Roe versus Wade, but they did it the wrong way. They should have left it with the states to have each individual state have their own abortion law, their own way, where if you didn't like it, you could move to another state. But with federal, it's law of the land, and you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere else. And I think abortion is between the mother, the doctor, and God. And nobody else's business but theirs, because they had to deal with their eternal soul, not us. But when we jump in the middle of it, we're messing with our own. So it's up to them to live their life. And that's what the country's for, to live your own life for what you do. And they have no business funding abortions, because they're sanctioning it. If they, and they're just as guilty as if it's, it's their morality, our morality as a nation. Hi, Jenny, how you doing? So somebody jump on here and help me out. Let's talk about something. We can talk about the weather. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but I think it's gonna wait till later afternoon. I hope, because it's going to turn a little bit cool after that. And after it probably was over 80 today. 60s will be cool. But I think we had a good conversation the other night on single dating and marriage, and you name it. We had a good time. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It went by like boom, boom, boom. That's okay. It was a great time. It was a great time. I loved every minute of it. But back in the day, we had unwed I say that every time, unwed mothers' homes where they shipped the girls off to when they got pregnant. They wouldn't allow them in school, and they would ship them off to these dirty, nasty homes till they had their babies. And then most of them would end up either aborting or adopting them out. And it was a sad situation, along with the mental institutions, what have you. We had tons of mental institutions, and they weren't any better. They were run shabbily, dirty, let people wander the halls, wander the area, and just trash things. Have fights where they threw chairs and tables and you name it. It was wild. But Geraldo Rivera got in the middle of it, and they were good to a certain point if they would have maintained them and took care of the patients, but they would not take care of the patients. So now we have everybody out on the street. Yeah, very dirty secret, getting pregnant young. And nobody wanted to know. It's not like nowadays. It's really I don't know, celebrated now, but back then it was shunned and frowned upon. And it's like the Scarlet Letter. They wore the Scarlet Letter on them. It was sad. And things need to be changed, but they changed things the wrong way. And we let them do it. Turned a blind eye and let them do it. I've seen a lot of things happen. Some things good, but a lot bad. And we've just little by little have had our freedom taken away, where now all we do is answer to the government. We have all the taxes. We have, I'm telling you, you go to do something, you get cable, you have to give them all your information, your driver's license, social security card, your firstborn. You go to rent something. We was looking, the fellow I'm renting from here, looks like they're going to try to charge me an extra amount for the lot rent. I don't know. It's weird how this world is going. Everybody after money and no control over it. Yes, they are disposable. It's just pathetic the way they'll care for an animal, but a baby they won't. Protected species. Oh, don't hurt them. Don't hurt those eggs. Don't hurt those fetuses. But a baby's not nothing until, not even up to birth. Even after birth. It's sad the way that they look at things, and it's all the devil. It's all evil. Every bit of it. And until we stop it, it's going to continue to go on and on and on and on and on. But if we just sit back and say, oh, we can't do nothing, it's already gone away too far. I heard a live streamer say the other day, it's gone too long. We can't change it. Well, why are they out trying to stop it if we can't change it? We can change it, folks. And all we need is the numbers. And we need to band together. All the groups, instead of fighting with each other, band all the groups together, get together and fight. Fight for our rights. Not literally fighting, but protesting and talking and letting people know and getting people in our ranks to spread the word and change the country from the bottom up. Kill it at its roots at the local level. Get rid of this mess that's run in Orlando, especially here, Orlando. The Rainbow Coalition has sewed Orlando up and Orange County up big time. And we have to stop it. Hey, Sean. I believe Aruba and I are going. I'm going. Aruba's going. Are you going? We need numbers. We need everybody there. Anybody in Orlando, if you hear me, anytime, before tomorrow and you're near Orlando, get out there. Get with us. Protest. Let's get this thing changed. We've got to do it. Anybody on Twitch or Facebook, both, all of you can come on here if you want to talk. Facebook and Twitch. Just click the link and you can come on here and chat. Hi, Chaplain. Sean's going to be there? Good. Good. I'm trying to read too. I can't read the screen because the ring light is blinding me. So I can't read my phone. I'm going to have to get a computer or a laptop. I just got one, but a MacBook, but the video was going out on it. So I sent it back, and all they do is refund. They don't repair it. Oh, they're having one in Ormond Beach too? Okay. So come on in here. So whoever wants to join, click that link. Let's talk about everything. Oh, hold on. Let me I don't, excuse me, just 1 second. Maybe no. I should have done it earlier. I was going to show you all some sunsets on the beach, but probably too hard to get into. I don't know. I can probably find them in Google Photos on this laptop. Nope, it hasn't. It hasn't uploaded them yet. Just one picture. Oh boy, that's pathetic. Okay. One in Kissimmee too, but they're everywhere. Well, Kamala Harris is supposed to be in Florida. I don't know where in Florida, but she's going to be talking to a group in a meeting somewhere, so we probably won't see her. But if she's somewhere close, I'll try. That would be something. But we wouldn't get close. None of us could get close. That would be the big problem. It's going to be interesting. Ruby, do you have any idea where to park or just playing it by ear when you get down there? I don't know whether you can park around the arena or what. The Amway, I'm not sure. A garage probably wouldn't be good. Especially if they find out you're for the anti-abortion side. I don't know. It depends on how many shows up, and probably in Orlando, a lot will show up. I imagine this will be packed. And hopefully we get a lot of anti-protesters. Hopefully. Just show them we mean business. Yeah, I'm trying to think where a good place would be, and I can't. The only thing they have downtown is the garages. Do they charge for parking on Saturday? She'll be in Tallahassee. Okay. They never did say where that I could find, but usually Orlando or Tallahassee or Miami is one of the main places they would go. Trying to think. Any ideas what you want to talk about? Yeah, City Hall is right. Usually where everything goes on down there. They do charge on Saturday. Okay. Because we can get a few blocks down on one of those streets that come up through. I don't know. Guess we'll have to find out when we get there. See how many is there. Liable to be jam packed. Liable to be really busy. But I don't think many went to the last one. I don't know. I really don't know. I just hope the rain holds off, like they say, until the afternoon, so we can get out of there before it gets. Oh my goodness, that's a long way. That's a good 5 miles, Sean. It's at City Hall. Night of Rage. I haven't heard about that. Who and where did somebody get killed? This tablet is slow and it isn't bringing up the comments. Like, what's going on here? Huh. Atlanta. Okay. Yeah, somewhere. I was thinking behind the Bohemian Hotel on one of those side streets, more towards the park, down that way. There's several streets that run up through there that there's usually all kinds of parking. Oh, they shot a cop. Hey, in Atlanta. Who shot the cop? Antifa? Or just some random person in there uprising about it? I'm waiting for somebody to answer. I'm sorry. That's for sure. We're going to the dogs. Always something going on, something to hurt somebody, something to protest against, or something evil going on somewhere. It's always something, and it's not letting up. Yeah, always some reason to riot, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Aruba, I don't know why, but you're I don't know, on my tablet, everybody else is coming up but yours. On my phone is coming up, but I had to look into that ring to see it. I don't know what's going on here. I'm having problems like y'all did. That's for sure. We like Beetlejuice, round and round. It's a sad world when we have to live this way and have to watch ourselves, watch what we say and how we say it, and say the correct thing, and can't say this, can't say that, and we're being led to the slaughter is what practically. It's going to be a time when we won't even be able to go to church. It's like I always say, back in the Roman days, they were a democracy. They were the first democracy. And that's what everybody wants is mob rule. It's like Rome had the mob rule. And we can't have mob rule because back then the mob wanted to kill Christians and they fed them to the lions. That's what a democracy is. But we're a constitutional republic and we have representatives that are supposed to do what we say. But they've got away from that. Yeah, how about that? There's 2 young boys and they molested them and put them out for the pedophiles to pay them to use them. Adoptive parents, and they were big in the LGBT, whatever it is. They were big in the group, spokespeople for them, and they adopted the boys and put them out in the sex trade. Sad. And because they were millionaires, they had $1 million home at DCF or wherever it is in Georgia. Said, "Oh, okay, this will be good. They're gay. No, they should be all right." Mm-hmm. Yeah. The pedophiles in every group, every way of life, everywhere. You never know. Could be from the most religious to the poorest. You never know who's going to do it. And to see that, just, oh. And after what I went through with my granddaughters, they wanted to take them away from me and put them in foster homes if I didn't find a relative because I was too old. That's why I'm in this, folks. It just burns me up. Just burns me up. And then when I see something like this, I think, oh my. I'm glad their sister took them in and adopted them. It's hard on her, bless her soul, 25 years old, raising her younger sisters, but be better than getting into something like that. And pray to the good Lord, that they're being taken care of. Yeah, they did that after the couple adopted them. They started working them out. Anybody in here want to join me yet? The link's at the top. I can put it up there again. Let me see. Stay up there. The paste don't want to stay up there. There it is. Oh, I didn't hear it right. Did it do it? Yeah, there it is. Click on the link and come on in. We'll talk about anything. We don't have to talk about politics or whatever. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. Come on, Sean, Jenny, Chaplain. Ruby said she was doing something else, so there's 4 of us here. Be easier to talk together on this than it would be online. Maybe somebody else will come in and join in. Yeah, they take the money and try to make more off our precious children. It's pathetic. Can't believe it. I am turned backwards. Huh. I don't understand. I tried flipping it. It still stayed the same way. But my hat's on my right, but on the screen it shows it on my left. So that's weird. Does that on Prism too. I flip the camera, it still stays the same way. So I don't know. I'm about to get with somebody that knows more than I do. I guess this way you can read what's put up in front of the camera. But give me a suggestion there, somebody. We'll talk about it. Yes, Jenny, that's for sure. They talk about the child care and the caregivers, and they tell you they're going to help you and they don't help, and somebody can beat their kids to death. They don't want to do nothing about it, but somebody cares and does something for them. They're not doing it right. I don't understand. I just don't understand the system. And it's getting to the point like everything. Say it over and over and over. What's wrong is right, and right is wrong. It's just pathetic the way our society is going now. It really tears me up, brings me to the boiling point. Because I've been through a lot, and I've seen a lot, and it just unreal what's going on. Unreal. And the only way we're going to stop it is to voice in a mighty voice, like the walls of Jericho and the trumpets. We're going to have to make a loud noise, bring it all crashing down. And that means we all have to get together and do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's the only way to do it. And for the president to stand up there and brag about the only way to take the government back now is with F-15s, that's a sad statement. What if somebody did get a bunch of F-15s and take over the government like that? Just wondering. Asking for a friend. It would be a sad day, but it might come to 1776. It may come where we have to fight for our life, especially when they start taking our rights away for sure. But then it'll be too late. Pretty much too late. Without bloodshed. So we need to do it now while we can. And in a hurry. Not years, but months. We can't afford to sit back and stay silent. We can't afford just to take it for granted and hope it'll change, because hoping ain't helping. And God will only help us if we help ourselves. And we have to help ourselves. That's the pure and simple truth. We can pray, but until we go out and do the act, there ain't nothing. God can't help us if we don't do nothing. If we sit on our hands, He can't help us. He can come and destroy the world, but He promised never to do that again. He depends on us to keep our world straight. That's our job. That's our job, to make our laws and keep our laws going and doing the right thing. It shows us all through the Bible how the Israelis would come and go. They'd find God, they'd lose God. They'd find God and lose God. And they'd go through turmoil every time. And we're still doing it. We're doing it in the United States. Kicking God out of the Democratic Party, kicking God out of our schools. Well, if they kick him out, He's not going to help them. Only the devil's going to help them, and that's what's happening. The devil's helping them. Yeah, our churches are the biggest blame. Unfortunately, there are very few churches that really go by the Bible. Most of them are building buildings for their own glory. They're taking money and putting it into businesses and real estate, buying the minister luxury cars, jet aircraft, and not giving it to the poor and helping the needy. And God expects them to give it to the poor and the needy, to help out the ones that's less fortunate. He doesn't say all of it, but He says we should live within our means, and especially a minister. He should at least give most of it away, like the Lord says. But they don't. They don't. And I'm not anti-church, but I have not seen one in a long time that I really care for, because you walk in like me, they look at you silly. You walk in with tattoos, oh no. A lot of people even have remarried and found God. And God forgives sins. And if remarriage is a sin, according, then God will forgive it. But there's a lot of preachers that say he won't. And tell them they're doomed for hell. When I was growing up, I knew a couple, and they lost their faith. Before they died here recently, they found the Lord again, thank goodness. But ministers have a job to teach, not actually tell people what to do, but to teach and give them the understanding and the knowledge along with their own Bible reading and prayer. God will convict you on what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And you should use your thoughts as the final opinion. Study it, and realize what you should do, not what everybody else does. Because you're the one that's at stake. Your soul's at stake. So you need to study and know for yourself whether you're going right or wrong. It's just like to me tonight. I did something wrong today that I felt sorry for, and it really convicted me about it, and I had to ask forgiveness from both the people and God. We all do it. We all make mistakes. The LDS Church is interesting. I went to a couple of their, I went quite a bit with a friend, but and my granddaughter is in Nova Scotia. She's LDS. I'm not sure, but I know they try. But it's like everything else, the history and everything is not right. Who's to condemn? I don't condemn anybody. But they do get out mission. And contribute to the charities, which is good. And the Catholic Church does a good job too with their Catholic charities. They help a lot of people. But I think we could do more. I think the churches could do more than they're doing. It's mind-boggling, all the money that comes in, and you see people in their parishes or their church going without, and they're not doing nothing with it. It's frustrating. But I think as a church, we need to teach our people, not continually pound on them what they should do. Because you take a baby by the hand, you can say all you want. You say 1,000 things, they wouldn't understand you. You have to show them and take them by the hand to teach them to walk, teach them to crawl. And you have to show them. You can't tell them about it. So I think showing people is more important than telling them or pushing it on them. Because a sinner knows what they've done. They know what they've done. You don't have to tell them what they've done wrong. And to tell them before they go to Jesus, they have to give up their cigarettes and their booze and whatever. And no, you pray first, you ask for forgiveness, and God will help you get rid of all your addictions and habits and what have you. It seems like a lot of them get it backwards, but we have millions of different kinds of churches. So there's going to be conflicts everywhere, millions. But the Lord says, where 2 or 3 are gathered together, there I will be also. So he's here. He's not necessarily in a church, because there are some godless churches. So he's here. He's here with us. He's everywhere. Everywhere. I didn't know that, Sean. LDS funds Catholic charities. Well, that's good that they can intermix like that, because there's too much separation in all of them. And that's the problem. Churches need to band together, the ones that are actually living for Christ, just like the country. Band together. The minister needs to get up there and tell people what's going on, let them know what's going on. Because even Jesus worked with the government when he was out. Render unto Caesar what's Caesar's, and unto God what's God's. And we have to be together. There's no such thing in our Constitution as separation of church and state. Thomas Jefferson wrote a letter to the Baptist ministers after he became president and talked about it. That's where it came from. And I guess because he was the writer of the Declaration of Independence, that they thought that people think that he actually put it in the Bill of Rights in the Constitution. But it isn't. It's a misnomer. I mean, he wrote about it years later, and they took it and run, made it gospel. There's a lot of things like that have happened that's turned us the wrong way. But the only thing is, the church and the state can't tell what churches what they believe or sanction what religion can be here and what can't be here. It says all religions can be here. Didn't say anything else except for we have the freedom of religion. And that's any religion. Muslim, Buddhist, you name it. What's the one they celebrated Christmas? Kwanzaa. Whatever people want to believe, they have the right to it. That's the only thing it says. Because when we escaped England, England had the Church of England, and everybody had to be with the Church of England. And that's why many come to the country to flee the religious persecution, because that's the only church they could worship in. And that's why they put freedom of religion where any religion could be practiced, which is the only fair way. It goes for everything. So did Ruba leave us? Are you still there? Any other suggestions there? I can try to give you my thoughts on it, my musings. Don't see anything. How long have we been on here? Hour and a half? Okay, well, I think I'll call tonight, get ready for tomorrow. Hope everybody's had a good time tonight and learned something or take something away from it. Let everybody know. Share it. If you like it, share it. Hit the like button. Pass it along. Let everybody know we're going to be doing this. I kind of figured Jason would be here the way he talked, but I guess I guess he didn't make it. And Hector, he took off too soon before I said it, so I guess he didn't hear. But they wanted to have panels, so I'll have more panels. I'll try to let everybody know a little bit better. YouTube does not have a good way to let people, to notify people. Sometimes I get email. Sometimes it'll pop up there, but it'll pop up really late, like 30 minutes later. And mostly that's the case, 20, 30 minutes later. Tonight I was watching it, and Chaplain Jethro was on for 20 minutes before I even saw it. So I got him, and I just barely made Aruba's because it didn't show. So we can't depend on that. We got to figure out a different system on how to let people know when we're on and how, what time we're going to be on. But anybody have any good ideas, let me know. You can message me on Facebook under Carrie's Musings or Carrie McDonald or Jesus Lives Group. One of the three. You can find me on Facebook, on Messenger, or Facebook, however you want. We can communicate on Facebook. So Carrie McDonald, Carrie's Musings, or Jesus Lives Group, or Jesus Lives, just plain Jesus Lives. I have both of them, Jesus Lives and Jesus Lives Group. I'm also on Telegram as Carrie's Musings, and every other social media like True Social and Getter. I even have an Orbeez, not Orbeez. Oh, yeah, starts with a D. I try to do that, Sean, but it's mainly in the afternoon. If I try to get on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 2 and 4, but a lot of people's not available at that time. They're usually available in the evening or at night. So it's kind of tough. Maybe I don't know. Have everybody send in when they're going to do it and make a program. That might be a good idea. Start a program on one of the social medias where we can tell who's going to be on when. But we all need to band together to do that. But anyway, I'm going to let y'all go tonight. And as always, God bless America. God bless our troops. God bless you. I love each and every one of you guys. Really. And I'll talk to you next time. Good night, all. Bye.